Movie Torture, where we watch bad movies so you don't have to. And joining me as always is the boss man himself, Brad, the queen bee of the Hopecast Network, Ashley, the pod father, Jacob, and the one and only Hawaiian wearing shirt producer, Gary, and our special guest, Minnesota Gary, aka Troy, as we jump in and watch Sidekicks. Hello, everybody.
Jacob, you
Hello.
forgot another.
Hello.
We've got
Oh.
one more cast member that you're
MTD.
going to be on this crap list now.
TD, I love you dearly. I'm sorry.
You forgot him. He's like, you've forgotten. Ashley, we don't forget MTD, do we?
I've never forgotten MTD a day in my life.
No,
He was in my marriage vows, Jacob.
I don't forget MTD either because I read his book daily.
You read
Jacob is the reader of MTD's book. We have Minnesota Gary in the house interning for a spot on the number one bad movie recap show on iTunes and Spotify.
That's right.
Says me.
I'm nervous.
Oh my gosh, MTD says she wears me at night.
What? What did he say?
She wears me at night.
With nothing underneath.
Oh, he's been close to her chest.
I keep my secrets close to my chest. Correct.
Oh,
Listen
my
to a
son
couple,
is in the house. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Max is watching. I can see he's live. He's checking out Minnesota Gary. Hello, Max. At least he's not coming in as a faker this time.
That's true. I'm
Tricking us like he did last time. He's not being a troll. I gotta say, the 100th episode dropped today as we're recording.
It did.
And we've made it. Welcome, MG, Minnesota Gary.
Thank you.
MTD says welcome. I want to say there's a couple funny segments in there. One is when Ashley asked me if she's funny, and I say, you're not fat.
Which, by the way, thank you.
You're welcome. Max says bye.
Bye. He's out.
He's out. What were you going to say, by the way? What, Ashley?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway.
I think I was just saying thank you for calling me skinny.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't call me skinny, but you did not call me fat. So.
True. That was a funny part. I really enjoyed producer Gary becoming an organ polisher in one of the clips. That was funny. He's already forgot it, but he was. I said, you're there to polish organs.
Welcome back to that memory, producer Gary.
And I enjoyed the Saul discussion, talking about what John Kramer does in his private time. MTD says I called Ashley skinny.
Thank you, MTD. I'll carry that with me forever.
But Jacob, what was your highlight of the 100th episode clip show?
I'd say some major highlights was the Santa drop cookies. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh, snooze buttons.
Yeah,
snooze buttons. Yeah.
Yep, that was pretty awesome. The Cheeto cane was a pretty good one.
That's classic. Cheeto cane. They
yeah.
were a sponsor, Stashy.
That's right.
Chips. Yeah.
So those were my two favorite ones out there.
I loved when we were talking about King Kong. Was it King Kong having his teeth fall out because he's hooked on meth and he's opioids and he's got a bad back. He can't walk. He's skinny. That's one of my favorite parts of the show. So, Minnesota Gary, welcome to Movie Torture.
I'm excited.
Is this your first movie torture ever, Minnesota Gary?
Yes.
Yes.
Say it with you need to calm down. Say it with.
He seems so excited right now. He makes Gary look excited.
Calm down.
So Ashley, we have to ask you because this is a bet between me and Brad. Mm-hmm. Although you said you finished the movie, so we can still solve this.
Much to my chagrin.
When did you stop paying attention to the movie?
Oh, that is a good point. When did you stop the attention?
It may have been on.
So that's a very valid question, by the way. So here's the thing. When the movie started, I almost texted Brad to ask, why is it so bad? But then it turned out to be a dream sequence. So I was like, oh, it was meant to be really bad. It's about to get better, you know? But then it just stayed bad. So maybe I want to say I gave it a good 6 minutes, and then I was like, you know
6
what?
minutes
Well,
of
say-
an hour and 41.
There were
gonna
stray
say-
cats outside of my house, and I had to get them. I wanted to feed them. I wanted to bring them in my home. I'm like, Snow
I'm
White,
gonna
you
say
know?
I bet that you would make it 5 minutes into the
You
movie.
did say 5 minutes. I think you did.
So I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
most closest.
I don't know what I said. I just don't think she's gonna make
I think you
it.
gave her 20. You gave her 20.
It was
I-
so bad, you guys. Like I actually almost wanted to reach out to everybody and be like, how about we do a good movie next time?
No, I mean, first, okay.
Vision of
we-
Beast was good. This-
hold on. This
No.
movie, we're gonna get to the reviews of this movie at the end, but we haven't even told the listeners what is this movie?
This movie is called Sidekicks, starring back in the day, probably one of the biggest celebs back then, Mr. Chuck Norris himself.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't even know
that's-
he was a
that says
real
everything.
person.
What?
You did- What?
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 You didn't know
What is-
Chuck Norris was real?
Have you
What do you
never
mean?
heard a Chuck Norris joke in your life?
I always thought it was like a fictional character. Like I didn't know it was like a.
Is that why you thought he wasn't real because of all the jokes about Chuck Norris?
I just
Then he's
didn't.
like-
You know what? I can't say I thought about Chuck Norris often in order to like form that thought, but I just like hearing the name Chuck Norris throughout childhood. I just assumed it was like Chuck Norris, Dumbledore. Like you just.
See, you can tell Jacob Ashley's from a younger generation
It's
than us
true.
because growing up,
Has it
I
been my
wanted to,
phase?
I wanted to be Chuck Norris.
Absolutely.
But you're in the business. Oh yeah, you're in the business. You're in the acting business.
You know
Did
what? But Chuck Norris is not. I can't say the. No one has ever brought up at an audition like, "Hey, by the way, can you do this more like Chuck Norris?"
Oh, that would be hilarious. By the way, did you ask MTD what he thought of the natural look?
MTD, what do you think of my natural look? I don't think I think it's too natural, and it makes me look what did I use? What contoured? It doesn't look I don't like it.
Uncontoured, whatever
Can
that
you tell?
means.
You'd be honest with me.
in lady terms. I don't know. I don't uncontoured.
I just feel like it looks disheveled. Does it look disheveled? I am in pajamas, but I'm not a disheveled person. So
Well, I mean, Minnesota Gary's not wearing any pants, so he said, "I think you look great."
I hate. Oh, thank you, MTD. He said I look great. Thank you. I love you.
If your name is Gary on this pod, they don't wear pants. That's the rule. They have to sit pantsless.
Did you,
What?
Pantless
did
Gary.
you know that when
you-
Chuck Norris went to college, he told his father, "You're the man of the house now"?
Oh
Is that real or no?
my gosh!
Oh.
These are the types of Chuck Norris jokes we grew up with.
Yeah,
Chuck
you know,
Norris was amazing.
You know that one time that Chuck Norris got bit by a snake, and after like 3 days, 3 agonizing days, the snake died. You've never heard a Chuck Norris joke?
Are you
Okay, now
still
I gotta
telling
find-
the joke?
That was the joke. That Chuck Norris got bit by a snake, and after 3 days, the snake finally died.
I love how Gary can remember a Chuck Norris joke, but he can't remember normal.
Did you know that
So-
Chuck Norris is the reason why Waldo's hiding?
Oh my gosh!
That's funny. That's funny. That's
So this movie Sidekicks has Chuck Norris and at
Yes.
the time one of the most famous child stars in the
Uh-huh.
biz,
uh-huh.
Jonathan
Yes.
Brandis.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Winnie Cooper.
Well,
No, Well, she's in there too. She is playing
Brandis.
Winnie Cooper in this movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
100%.
She's just
She's
like
never been anybody else. She's only ever been Winnie Cooper.
yeah. And I tried to get her on my work advice about a year and a half ago, and her agent was like, "Nah, she's good." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, but Jonathan Brandis, who dated Ashley from Fresh Prince, that was his girlfriend.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Ladybugs, and
Wasn't he also really good friends with not Punky Brewster?
yes, he was. Did you see that documentary
I
with
did.
Punky? That was good. Yes.
It was really good.
Yeah, Jonathan Brandis ended up hanging himself though, so it's really sad.
Yeah.
He would have
is sad.
he hung himself like 22 years ago. So he's been gone 22 years. It's a long time.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
it was 2003?
3
Yeah.
when he hung himself.
Wow. For some reason, I thought it was like only a couple of years later. I thought it was more like 07, 08. Wow, I didn't.
Yeah. Hung himself. Yeah. So that's depressing, but let's get back to some fun stuff here.
But this, I mean, he was a man with a dream in Sidekicks.
He was. And, I was doing a little MTD. What's the budget and what did it make? I was doing a little research on this. And a mattress owner salesman in Houston paid $16 million because he loved Sidekicks so much. He wanted to finance this movie. And he financed Sidekicks for $16 million.
Wait, why is MTD saying it was 7.5 million?
Because that's what it costs to be like advertising it. He paid $16 million in this movie. I read this online. He said it needed to make 20, and it didn't make $20 million for his. He bet 43% of his income, of his fortune, on
That's
this
crazy.
movie. I don't understand why he thought this vehicle with Chuck Norris would be the winner. I don't understand that.
I think he was just trying to pay off of that it was Chuck Norris, so people were going to stream to theaters because of it being Chuck Norris.
Mm-mm.
But was Chuck Norris like a big star at this point yet, or no?
Yes.
Yet, I think his star
He
had
been on the downcline a little
he
bit,
was on the down, right?
but he was still well known. Like everybody knew who Chuck Norris was at that time.
Missing in Action, my favorite Chuck Norris movie. Missing in Action
Yeah, it's a good one.
has to be. What was you gonna say, Gary? Minnesota Gary. Both Garys favorite Chuck Norris.
We can't have two Garys. This is just too confusing.
We got two
I would
Garys.
say Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh,
Yeah,
have you never heard of Walker, Texas Ranger, Ashley?
I've heard the words put together, but I don't know what it is.
I'm
You
trying
know,
to imagine Ashley
That's the goat.
on a Friday night going, I'm gonna watch a little bit of Walker.
you know what
Open
is
up a
not
bottle
so
of
level.
wine and then watch some Walker. I do love Texas though. I love Dallas. I like Austin.
Austin's fun. MTD and we hung out in Austin last year. And it was fun.
It's a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was fun with MTD. We partied till like
Anything's fun
4 in the
with
morning.
MTD. Doing your taxes is
Wait,
fun with
wait.
MTD.
Producer Gary and I have hung out in Austin together.
Yeah, it was the way you said that. It was like it was fun with my dad. It was not.
It did come out that way a little bit.
wasn't fun that other
Terrible
time.
with producer Gary, but
So
Wasn't
producer
fun,
Gary
fun.
was. Producer Gary was trying to get a Tinder date while we were in Austin.
That's not exactly what. No, that's.
No.
I
wait,
think
I was
wait,
like-
Brad,
what's the tea?
Brad
What were
was
you
trying to
actually-
get Gary a Tinder date. I think Brad was trying to get Gary a Tinder date.
I didn't know
Producer
Tinder
Gary-
was a hookup app. I thought it was like you could find your girlfriend on it.
Look, I'll be
No.
honest. I was on Tinder. Let's see. Yesterday, it was our
Yesterday,
No.
Oh.
Yesterday it was our 7-year meeting anniversary, me and my husband. So like I guess I was on Tinder 7.5 years ago. And I gotta tell you, it was never a hookup app for me. I always got free meals from Tinder.
so it was like a sugar daddy hookup app for you. Like you wanted. It was like
I
like a
wanted
food
food.
bank. It was a food bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a food bank. That's what I want. I wanted food. I want sometimes a guy would ask like, "Oh, let's get drinks." I'd be like, "Absolutely not. It's your pleasure. I shall have a full meal. You will make a reservation." Unless we're going to Sugarfish and they don't take reservations.
Did you eat a full meal on a Tinder date and then go take a huge Duke in the middle of your date?
This wasn't Tinder. I met him at a bar. But I will say, this did happen, and it wasn't like it was just full blown diarrhea. Like I was so happy, but I was also like,
Gary
I think I came
squared.
back
She
to the-
likes diarrhea. That's the,
Oh, I love diarrhea. But I think I came back to the table like 3 pounds lighter. And I was like, should we
She's like,
get
"What's the
dessert?
second
And he was
course?"
like, who are you?
She's like, I'm ready for the appetizer now. I'm good.
But I'm pretty sure I met that guy at a bar. Yeah. And he asked me out for a second date, and I said
Hey.
no.
Oh, you said go smell a bathroom and tell me if you really want to go on another date with me.
I do love, and we got to circle back to this because I do love that Brad was like, I went to Austin with MTD and it was the best time ever. And he's like, oh yeah, there was this one time producer Gary was there also.
Yeah.
Do you live in Austin, producer Gary?
No, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh,
me and
okay.
Brad went for a mission trip, but
Yeah.
he was like, I guess he just forgot that.
No,
So,
but
yeah.
then I was like, Gary, you should find a girl
Gary.
tonight. You should. I said, you're in Austin. There's girls your age. Like, go, find a girl. And he was on Tinder, and nothing. And it was
Oh,
Well,
No,
what
nothing.
a
that was
there was
actually,
that one. There was that one girl on the plane.
yeah. Well, there was that. But actually, Gary and I went to Austin. I booked an Airbnb.
Mhm.
We get to the Airbnb, and there's only one bed in the Airbnb. They said they had a pullout, but there was no pullout. I looked at Gary. I said, I'm not sharing a bed with you, bro. It's not happening. So we left the Airbnb and went and got a hotel room. I'm like, we're
Yeah.
getting a
For the-
hotel room.
For the record, I was against the sharing the bed too. It wasn't
Yeah,
just
right,
Brad.
yeah.
It wasn't like
Brad, I'm
I
not
did
sharing
say
a-
that as if Gary was begging to lay in bed with me. Please let me lay. I'm like, no, I refuse.
Stop making me sound so bad, man.
Did you get your money back from the Airbnb because it's false advertising?
We did. We got about 90% back.
Brad, we can just share the bed. It's okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
terrible. It was a terrible Airbnb. I was like, this sucks. And the bed was not even comfortable. So we ended up getting a nice hotel, and then right by 6th Street. So we were good. We walked around. It was
That's
easy.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, and then MTD and I went, and
And it
they
was much better.
it was so much better with MTD. MTD and I were both like, well, it's 8:00. I guess we'll go to bed now. So we had
Here, Brad, did you stay at the Airbnb in the same bed with MTD?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, we
Yeah.
both slept together in a twin. He said, I brought you into this world. You can play with me. And I'm like, okay.
You're both in your nightcaps and reading a book.
Yeah. And we're like, these young kids here in Austin, they're too loud.
MTD's reading Brad a bedtime story.
Oh my gosh. He's creating a fire, so I have a fireplace, but then the hotel sprinkler go on. It's like, oh my gosh. But these ladies with hairy armpits stopped us, and they wanted us to be like, sign over this like petition. And it was really, MTD's awful quiet. He's not chiming in on any of this. It's weird. But we were both like, y'all have hairy armpits, so no.
Oh.
We didn't say that, but that's we were.
What was the petition for? Do you even know?
It was for like women's rights and women. It was crazy stuff.
Brad,
Like
are
really.
you saying you don't believe in women's rights?
I love the rights of a woman to log on to this podcast and chat.
Where's your wife, Brad?
She's up there cooking. No, I'm kidding.
Look at producer Gary. Why
She's
are you
cleaning.
producer Gary? Are you supposed to produce us?
Yeah, Gary, what?
I used to hit the button. There's no button anymore.
When we recorded
Button
in studio,
example.
he would hit the button. He would go,
I
Oh,
had
then
to
we
mess
know.
with the mic. I had to mess with the mic volumes a couple times.
that's a rough. That's no you.
It
you're
was
well
it was
respected in the industry. That's $210K
difficult
a year
job.
right there.
oh my gosh, $210K to hit a button?
Yep.
Dang.
Wow.
Brad,
Gary, you
Brad
gotta
owes me
get-
some money.
You owe him a lot of money. Anyway, back to this crap. So
Yes.
MTD said he worked hard.
We were.
We got.
So-
Oh, go ahead, Brad.
No, but what was you gonna say, Jacob? We're back to sidekicks now. We're
Yeah, I was gonna
off
say
the
one
Austin
big
tangent.
point. We have to talk about sidekicks. So, like, to set up the scene here, this kid is constantly having these like very immersive daydreams, to where he's basically talking to himself and just immersed in this Chuck Norris world. We're going all this place to a point, right? This kid should be locked up. Like this is
No,
a
he's-
condition that
yeah,
deserves
no.
being locked up.
He's not well.
I would. Yeah, he definitely needed help. I would agree.
He's schizophrenic, right?
Well,
I would agree.
also,
Thank you.
why? I understand like the juxtaposition between like his teachers and stuff being in his daydreams, but why is his teacher, who happens to be dating his father, always the woman in distress, and why is she always moaning as if she's enjoying
No.
herself?
Yeah, that was
No,
not
that's-
torture. That was weird.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering the whole time, and then it was like, well, but then it was Chuck's dream, right? Just didn't.
Chuck's
Wasn't there
not
a scene
dreaming
where,
in
like-
this, right?
Chuck was
Gary
even
is.
real
No.
according to the ending.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
It's always him
I gotta
dreaming.
figure that ending out. I'm glad you're here because we're gonna talk about this ending. I'm still confused. But Gary in the movie, was his name Gary? Is it Gary or Barry?
Barry.
No.
Barry.
Barry.
We
It's
kept
basically
calling him
Gary. It's
We
Gary.
kept calling him Gary.
It's Gary.
Gary, I'm telling you right now, me and Brad, that whole entire movie, we're just calling it you Gary the whole time.
Yeah, I was like, this is Gary.
It is not me.
But Ashley,
No.
he is like when you're talking in your daydreams in class
Mm.
to Chuck Norris, you're right for getting made fun of, right? Like, I mean, it's
No, for sure. Like he's going to be made fun of. It's the 80s and no one, or early 90s, like no one wants that. But it is just the whole premise is weird. Also, they don't like who was the gang of people that came into the Chinese restaurant?
They were just a biker club that came in, and the old
Yeah.
ninja man had to show his skills.
Right, but they were
Mhm.
Lauren, I want to hear more about that's my mother.
your mom's in the chat tonight.
I
Oh my
want to hear more
god!
about Ashley's diarrhea. That's my mom.
Oh, I'm so glad your mom's in the chat. That's amazing. The
Her
queen's
pussy
mom.
is so much better
Like-
than mine.
Yeah, he's literally
Uh,
talking to himself, climbing up a rope, looking at an empty rope, being coached by Chuck Norris on how to climb a rope. And-
Yeah,
Why is DSS not stepping in at this point? I mean, something's not right.
why are all of the teachers mean to him?
He's a
Like-
loser.
Well, the
Wait, I was a
gym teacher
loser in
fits
high
the
school. Teachers
stereotype.
weren't mean to me. I mean,
Survival of the fittest. They felt sorry for you.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
But
Why
Minnesota
didn't they
Gary?
feel sorry for Barry? I mean, he has asthma. His mother passed away. He can't do anything, right?
Well, I mean, his teacher Bull from Night Court was like, "You can't do it. You're gonna
That
you're
was-
gonna get hurt. I need you to sign papers. You can't do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I-
was weird.
I love Jacob and I were talking about this during the movie. I love how his dad is. Are they officially dating or are they just friends? I don't even think they're dating. Are they?
They don't tell. They
They
don't
were pretty
tell us
handsy.
anything.
Yeah.
You think?
They-
Maybe she's just a
She's too friendly.
friends with
babe.
benefits. Maybe she's just an FWB.
There's a lot
dare
of
you.
flirt in
This
there,
is
but
this is a polite podcast. How dare you?
With your mom.
With my mom here. How dare you? She wants to talk about diarrhea.
Was your mom listening when you said you took guys out just for a food bank?
She'd probably be proud of that, but let's ask. Mom, were you listening when I said that I used to use Tinder for free meals? Let's wait for her to respond. While we're waiting for her to respond.
Okay, her and MTD are figuring out what to say.
Yeah.
they definitely are dating at the end. But during the beginning and the middle of the film, they were definitely flirting a lot. I don't think they were officially dating.
Okay.
Jacob, what did you ask me about MTD and my grades? Because I want to talk about.
Yes. So we came up with this whole ordeal that MTD had transferred careers. He quit training Voorhees because he had to transition over to because Brad was doing so bad in school that he had to start dating all of Brad's teachers, but he didn't mess with anybody below a 7. So if Brad was
No, it's an 8. It's an 8.
so if Brad was flunking in any class that was and the teacher was below an 8, he was just flunking. But if it was 8 and above, MTD was going to work to make sure Brad passed in school.
What's your grade? What's your grade, Brad? You got an 84. Daddy's gonna handle this. What's she like, an 8? She's a 7. I can't help you. You're gonna fail. She's a 9. I'm there. Daddy's taking her out to PF Chang's tomorrow night.
James. They also don't really explain how, like, he just happens to be studying the exact same thing that other people in his school are studying, and then there is a giant competition that is only days away that he didn't know about. Like, they don't.
Well, I
nothing
think-
makes sense.
I think originally the teacher had because that's her uncle who comes that trains him.
Right, but
And
I
I
thought
think
he was
originally
just
it was-
training him for his like inner chutzpah, not to like join.
Yeah, that was it. Like to help with his daydreams, to like train him how to be a
man.
ninja. And boy, does that old man train him.
Well, I mean, I'm imagining the mattress salesman rants. The mattress salesman. He's like, okay, I live in Texas and I want to see a Texas movie. And then he reads the script and he's like, we need to be like the Karate Kid over here.
Yeah.
We got to have a big battle at the end.
It's a
and
knockoff
can we-
Karate Kid. It's if you
Oh.
order a Karate Kid from Temu.
Yeah, can we
It's the
talk about the
Temu
weird?
Karate
Exactly.
Kid. I like that.
What did y'all think of the? There's like the scene where the karate master dude's like rubbing something on his chest.
I mean, you're talking about
What-
the movie.
That's one of my
Like
I think I
creepiest parts
was
of the whole
eating
movie.
stray cats at that point. I don't know. I didn't even watch
it
it.
was
I
weird.
kept waiting on Chris Hansen to walk in and go, what you doing here? And he's like, I don't know what I do. And then he's like, why are you rubbing a minor down on the bed?
Let me take your shirt down. You went too hard, too fast. Let me rub you down.
And he's like,
Burns.
"Oh."
That's how you know it's working.
Yeah, the stereotypes in this movie were also just like ridiculous.
Oh, we saw Joe Piscopo being an Asian man in
Yes.
this movie. I don't even think that would fly today.
Who? It's like Mickey Rooney in
Wait, what was
my
he in?
favorite
Mickey?
movie. Mickey Rooney in my favorite movie.
Oh.
Mom, what is Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh, he was an Asian in that movie.
He was. Wait, so
Wait, if we had to cast an Asian for movie torture, who is getting cast?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Gary says we can't.
I can do it.
I knew Minnesota Gary was going to volunteer for that one.
this is the guy, Joe Piscopo. He's
Yeah.
the one that was actually the uncle.
No, he was the
He's
one in
the-
the karate scene at the,
He's
where
the
he
karate
Oh
coach.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is terrible. Really
he
bad.
had the
movie.
mustache.
Yeah, no, I know. And he kept making weird noises at the end and nothing matched. He'd be like, huh, and then it would be like,
Yeah.
and
It
then
was
and
amazing.
then you would hear in the background, like, yeah, I did it. And he's like nothing like the words didn't match. It was so bad.
Okay.
I think me and Brad probably we had to rewind that scene like 4 times, even when we were screaming for our wives to come downstairs because we were crying so hard about the whole hospital scene. The guy just
Oh my gosh,
Let me
Max
put
and
your shit
Jacob and I could not stop laughing. We watched this movie together and we were like, honey, come down. And my wife refused. She said, I'm not coming downstairs. Jacob's wife did come downstairs. My wife said, I'm not getting up for this stupidity. And Max was like, you got to see this. And it was very, like, gay. Can I say that? It was gay. It was very gay. It really
you're
was.
catching charges today doing that.
It was very perverted. It was
I
weird.
missed that scene. I think I was doing laundry or
You need to
looking
go back and
at my
rewatch it.
phone.
Don't. No.
You feel like you need to shower after watching it.
It's even worse
I
to
should
actually go back and
shower.
find it. No, don't.
Yeah, don't do it. But
What-
it was
what about-
really weird. Wait,
What the scene where they're in like a pinata factory or something? Like they just
Yeah, they're
No,
filming
I-
candy with acid rain and all kinds of other dangerous ozone layer killing things. And him and Chuck Norris break in, and that's when he starts bolting it up, and like he is the man now because instead of fantasizing about his teacher, he now switched it over to Wendy Cooper. And then Chuck
Oh,
Norris is
yeah.
like, "Hey, what happened to the teacher?" And he's like, "This is my dream, Chuck."
Yeah.
okay. Let me ask you, how
I
old
love that one.
is Gary supposed to be in this movie?
At least like 15,
16?
16.
15, yeah, like
Okay, when I was 15, my world revolved around chicks. Like I would imagine like the chicks, like what kind of girls might like me. I was not thinking about me palling around with Chuck Norris with a machine gun.
no, see,
Get rubbed down by an Asian
He
man.
says in his mind.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
but I agree
all
with
in my
everything
mind.
in his mind.
There was no reality.
But when you're young and you're 15, you do have these like fantastical dreams. Like I remember watching like One Tree Hill and The OC and then like incorporating that into like my high school peers. So it'd be like, oh, like I want loud music to play as I'm kissed by XYZ. Like that was the only normal thing about this movie, except for Chuck. I found out that Chuck Norris is a real person.
No, Ashley, but see, you weren't like, okay, you weren't playing it out in your room, and
No, I wasn't.
and
like,
your mom walking in, and you're going like this.
No, I was not. It was like thinking about it before bed, you know.
And then you look at your mom and you go, "Mazel, mazel," as you're
Mazel. No,
as you're
'cause I'm
kissing
falling
your
asleep
imaginary
alone
boyfriend.
As
Yeah,
I
he-
kiss my pillow.
Like
Oh,
he's
gosh,
fully
it'd be even
diving
worse.
into the dirt to avoid
They're
the
called-
intruders
MTV
coming.
says they're called fantasies.
They are. These were going further than that. This is mental institution
I think
areas.
my mom left, you guys. She's gone.
Oh, no, I think she's here. I think she's here. But what he's imagining palling around with a dude. Like I would be imagining meeting
Saying Winnie
chicks.
Cooper.
Yeah,
Well,
like I'd be like, what's me and Winnie Cooper gonna be doing
Yeah.
tonight? I'm gonna shoot people to have her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I mean, he
Well,
will
that's
not
the-
let go of that magazine. He loves that Chuck Norris magazine.
Oh, so is there really a Chuck Norris magazine? Like he has his own magazine?
I don't know, but
Well,
in this movie,
no, I
he
think
does.
he was just in the mag. But anyway, I thought that the kid had a thing for his teacher, and that's why the teacher kept showing up.
Me too.
I didn't realize.
That's what
I didn't
thought.
think it was like his imagination of Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris had a thing for the teacher. Like that was really,
Yeah,
like-
they made it seem like he had a thing for the teacher because she
Which-
kept moaning and she was always like,
wait, Gary
could've-
and the teacher, or the dad and the
the
teacher?
kid, the
No,
kid,
the
I
and
think
the
the
teacher.
kid.
yeah,
I thought
Because
the
he
kid
was
had a thing
imagining
for
the teacher as the girl in the early ones, wasn't he?
Right,
all of them.
right.
Winnie
Yeah,
Cooper just
I thought-
popped up. But
But
until like the end when it's the younger like girl his age. But yeah,
We,
I thought
got to talk about
he-
that, though.
what?
But
Which
Gary,
one?
hold on. He's carrying the black belt around. If I was a teacher, I would assume he had a Playboy inside the black belt, right? Because I'd be like, "You're 15, man. Why are you reading Chuck Norris magazines at 15?" Minnesota Gary. Am I wrong on that? Like, I would think a normal kid at 15 would be like, "Oh, I just love chicks." I mean, I don't understand it.
Oh yeah, I
I
agree.
mean,
I mean,
That'd be
what did
me.
you say? What did you said the other night that
think
you
we
need a
should
woman's
go
touch?
around- wait, let's focus back on
Exactly.
that. You, Minnesota Gary, you need a woman's touch?
Yeah, Minnesota
Yeah, I
Gary.
do.
Well, I'm going to read his quote
Can't
verbatim.
help you with that, but we can get on Tinder and producer Gary can help you.
I'm
I
going to
have
read.
Bumble.
I don't know if I can help you, but
I'm going to read his quote because it was sent to me. It said,
Quote.
"I could use the embrace of a woman, a hot breath on my neck."
Wait,
Minnesota Gary.
you took the time to type that?
No, somebody texted it to me. I didn't. I wasn't there. This is what I'm hearing.
Who sent that
Who-
to you, Brad?
who sent that to you?
A friend who
person.
said, "This
That's
is
not
what Troy."
friendly.
What? No, he said
sent that?
Troy said this. I quote.
Somebody else heard him say this, and he sent a text to you telling
Yes.
you that he said this. Why?
Yes,
Why are you
because
friends with these people?
oh, he's a great dude. Minnesota Gary, explain
Oh,
yourself.
He wants a
It's
lady.
true.
It's
I want a lady.
I love Minnesota Gary, man.
Okay, we got to touch something big on this, though, because speaking of dating and all this stuff, Wendy Cooper is outright mean. Number one, she friend zones Barry. And he's like, "Oh, you want to go out?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't, we're just friends, we're just pals." And then, Barry / Gary gets some training. He kind of confronts the bully. He kind of takes him down. And now here comes Wendy Cooper after friend zoning him and was like, "Hey, you want to go hang out?" At that point of the dude, I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I only
Nah.
see you as a friend."
It's a
But
no for
he's
me.
like caved in like 10 seconds. He's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
He
Wendy
loves
Cooper's the
her.
worst.
Why? She's a total jerk in this movie. She's pity hanging at the
There's a
beginning.
plug in here.
She's only hanging with him
she
out of
admitted-
pity.
She admitted
Oh.
that it was pity. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was sad. Also, the mean guy in the 47-year-old teenage mean guy, like it. Why was his coach there gym teacher. And also on top of that, if your gym teacher, if you're so good at wait, is the gym teacher the same dude?
No.
Oh,
They're
it's
different.
not? See, that's
No.
how little I paid attention.
Wow. I was like, are you watching Side? She watched Sidekicks with an X. That's what she watched.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe her movie was better.
No,
Maybe.
it wasn't. It was so bad. I hated
No.
it.
Well, no, that was the other thing. When they were doing like the big fight at the end, when they're like at the big competition or whatever, and there's this big slow motion, like, yeah, and it's like
Oh,
real
yeah.
slow, and it took forever. It's like they're just yelling at him. That I don't think anything happened. I think they were all yelling in slow motion, and that yelling in slow motion never looks good. It just doesn't.
No.
Look, I
But
don't.
Back in 1992, like it was a cinematic marvel.
Would you want your kid being trained by Joe Piscopo and the way he acted? I would not like Max
No.
being trained by this sensei, who is basically doing a crease imitation from Karate Kid. For
100%.
sure. I mean, he might as well be saying,
100%.
sweep the leg, Johnny, sweep the leg. He might as well just say
Yeah.
that, right?
Right.
What
He
about
muttered wax on, wax off.
Oh yeah.
He didn't say it.
What about breaking the bricks? Like, I feel like you're breaking your hand, right? Like, it's happening.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And also, if Barry
Yeah.
doesn't know that he can do it, then like he shouldn't do it. Because,
I
like,
would
you're
agree
gonna
with that.
you're gonna die.
Well, how do they do that with their fists? They're like, whoosh, and
Try
how
it,
are their
Brad.
fists
Try
not
it
bleeding?
on your table.
It's all mental.
Oh,
It's all mental.
It's all mental. It's all in the brain. But that's funny. Like when the Chinese guy comes up, because first of all, he leaves the competition. He's like, "I'm out." They're like, "What do you mean you're out?" He's like, "I gotta go cook." So he runs off to cook in the restaurant, and then he comes back because his competition comes up to break bricks. And the people are like, "You're not wearing a gi," and he's like, "You don't need a gi to break bricks." And so he goes up there with his cooking apron on and smashes 9 bricks.
but I don't understand how a person can really smash 9 cinder blocks. It doesn't even. It seems weird to me.
Mind over
It's-
matter.
Can we? I just have something to say because it's bothering me. When that gang of people come into the restaurant and
Mhm.
the teacher / dad's girlfriend walks into the kitchen and goes, "We need your help out there." There was no sense of urgency. Like she just goes, "We could use your help out there." Like these people were gonna kill everybody. And
But here's the
it was as if she like dropped a sugar packet and needed help
Well,
picking it up.
That was the same scene in Karate Kid when they're wearing the skeleton costumes and they're bullying Daniel, and then Miyagi comes out and kicks their tail. That's really what that scene was. That's
But what's
all
funny-
that was.
It is. But what's funny is the guy like first douses himself in alcohol so he can seem like he's drunk and just boozing it up back there.
Oh.
But he does more damage to his own restaurant than they were doing. They were just sitting around like, buddy, I'm having
Yeah.
fun. He comes in and starts just like destroying tables and chairs and like, so he really destroyed his own restaurant trying to prove a point of attacking
do
these
you-
guys.
Do you file an insurance claim on that? Well, how does that work when you are the one that destroys your restaurant? Because I mean, if that's the case, I could say some people came in. I got a little aggressive. I need some new furniture for my restaurant.
That's true.
And
Well,
then Gordon Ramsay
Yeah,
comes
because
in.
they just get up
This
and
is
get back on the
Kitchen
motorcycles.
Nightmares. Could you imagine Kitchen Nightmares at what was the name of this restaurant?
Frying Dragon.
Flying
Frying.
Dragon.
Frying
This is the
Dragon.
Flying Dragon. It's like, why is he
Yeah.
Australian now? We've done my accents, Ashley. You know they're not good. They're very Cockney. Is that what you say?
Yeah, Cockney. They're
Oh,
very
I
Cockney.
know. I'm gonna go and investigate
Okay.
your
That
restaurant.
was just like troll under a bridge. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand that.
That was funny.
So back to the competition. I think this. I think Chuck Norris is a figment of his imagination, even at the competition.
How the
I do
teacher
not-
talks to him.
Nah,
No,
I
but-
think he imagines that because there's no Chuck Norris there. He's never with the family, right, Gary's? He's never with
No.
the family.
But okay, so at the end, that was one of my questions. At the end, where he leaves the magazine on the bench, and like, yeah, that was one of my questions. He was like talking to Chuck, but it was like in his head because he was leaving the magazine there or something, like he was saying goodbye. But to me, Chuck had been there at the competition, so like he hadn't left, right? But if what you're saying is right, he wouldn't have been there at all. But I think he was there.
See, but they
I
don't
was really confused why I didn't talk to him.
They really don't conclude on that because they show her going up to talk to him and she's like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" But they never actually show that conversation. And then magically he's sitting right next to Barry. It's like, "Oh, hey, we're going to do this competition together. We're going to go win this."
I thought I saw that conversation. Did that
No,
not
they
happen?
just show her walking up there and saying, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And then that's the end of it. They don't show it. So I think it's fake. But I have to bring this up real quick because the magazine Gary went here, and it's my favorite thing that happened that night watching this movie. So the kid, he leaves the magazine, and the kid comes up and grabs the magazine, and then goes wheeling off in his wheelchair. And someone who was watching the movie with us goes, "Nope, he ain't doing no karate competition."
That was my son. He goes, "Nope."
He's like, "Nope."
He said, "What's he gonna do? Kick him with his wheels?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
But what were they trying to say with that though? Like, what were they actually trying to say with?
I don't think he was there. I just do not think he was
I don't think he was
there.
there either.
Why would Chuck Norris be at a kids' competition in Dallas, Texas? And
Why does
Just-
Chuck Norris even exist? He's not a real person.
He is.
he is a real person.
He's
But
not real.
He is.
why would he be there? Minnesota Gary, do you think he was actually there? Or do you think this kid was really living out a fever dream? I think the whole thing was made up. I
It's
really
hard to
do.
say. He did fight the karate master coach guy, so
No, here's the thing. I feel like the whole competition was in Gary's head. There was never an actual competition.
Wait, now you're going too far.
No, this
is-
No,
This was
the-
Inception
There
before.
was definitely a competition.
I'm
No,
with
no,
you,
no,
Brad.
I'm telling you. No, well, Christopher Nolan watched Sidekicks and said, "I'm going to make Inception." Because that's
No.
really what he did. Because I don't
No,
think this
okay.
was real. No, it wasn't.
So so you don't think any of the competition was real? So all the people don't exist? I don't understand.
No, they exist. Just like this final competition was no different than the missing in action scene he did at the beginning where they're rising out of the water shooting the machine guns.
Brad,
He
He's
wins the
daydreaming.
competition. There's no way Gary's breaking all those bricks. We know that. And we get to see Chuck Norris beat
and
the
why are
bad
they
guy.
on fire?
And
yeah,
he's
they lit
trying- Why were
the
on
bricks on fire?
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
make him
how
look
were the
dramatic.
bricks on fire? It was. I'm telling you, I don't think it was real, man. I
And
don't.
he was training for what, like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden now he's a nunchuck master.
Wait, Brad, am
Like-
I real?
No, you're a figment of movie torture
I
imagination.
know. I don't think I'm.
I mean, we're all in the Matrix, okay? So depending on the pill you took.
Did you get the red pill or the blue pill?
I took 7 pills. And I don't know what color they were.
Gosh. Just don't get old. Then you start taking blood pressure pills.
That's
the
true.
worst. You don't want
No,
that.
I'm gonna
They
get
are.
so much Botox that I'll never age.
Does Botox hurt?
I don't know.
I mean, they're sticking a needle in your face.
She said, "I don't know."
That's mean. That's a mean question to ask somebody, Brad.
Well, she said you get a lot of Botox. I don't know if it hurts. I just think that I love how we had a lot of listeners and now we don't. I think they all just
Where
quit.
did they go? They're like, why are they talking?
I see the listener count, the watcher count, and it's like down. But I just think, Jacob, it was made up, right? The whole back was a fever dream.
I'm with you. I think the whole thing was just a dream. He dreamed the whole competition. It was just like his vengeance to get after the bully in his mind.
Yeah, and I think he possibly could have died in the hospital, and the rest of it was just this could be like his.
You're making it so morbid.
He's in massive therapy after the dude rubbed him down. That's just
Well, he died. The dude murdered him in there.
he's trying to remember, forget it all.
He said,
Was that part real or was that imaginary?
No, that
that
was
could
real.
have, oh, he was imagining the old sensei rubbing him down. Oh my gosh, man!
I hope not.
I mean, he was probably like, "Why can't the teacher?" MTD's like, "I would have had the teacher rub me down, not the old man."
MTD, it is a great movie.
Sounds like MTD's gonna watch this movie when we're done, and he's gonna have to at this point.
The dad was kind of a wimp.
Oh yeah,
He was. And he's like the Temu version. He's the Temu Bridges. Like, you want to see Jeff Bridges, you don't want to see Bo. You don't care about Bo. You want to see Jeff Bridges or Lloyd Bridges, but you don't care about Bo. It's just the truth.
Lloyd. I love a good double L.
No, okay.
You don't remember Lloyd
Okay.
in Hot Shots? Did you see Hot Shots, Ashley?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Ask me more movies about more movies because I probably haven't seen them.
You will see Hot Shots. We will do that movie. Just
I
say
grew up watching The Beautician and the Beast.
we've done that already, Ashley. You can't beg for that anymore.
Stinker.
I watch it still, like consistently.
Minnesota Gary, did you listen to the Beautician and the Beast episode?
Change your life.
I did, and now I want to watch the movie.
It's so
Oh, he wants to watch-
It's so good.
You want to watch my movie where she comes back and she's now the dictator, right? You want to watch that. That's what you want to watch.
That sounds like a good one too.
It does. It does. I love ruining it for Ashley, though. That's the. So at the end, I feel like it's all just a fever dream, guys. I don't even feel like this was even
Agreed.
real.
100%.
I feel like it was a dream, the whole thing.
It was all
From what point?
From when he laid down in the hospital. I feel like the rest.
That is saying he died in the hospital.
He died.
And
He's-
I mean, it would be absolutely amazing if Chuck Norris was actually your sidekick. It'd be amazing. He
Oh,
would
yeah.
teach you
Well,
all the karate.
Yeah, if you could have a sidekick, I guess Chuck Norris would want to be your. Ashley would choose Fran Drescher to
Oh,
be
yeah.
her sidekick because she likes Beautician and the Beast.
I don't
right?
just
As a
like it,
kid-
I love it.
As a kid, I wanted nothing more to be a ninja. I wanted
Hmm.
Chinese throwing stars, nunchucks. I wanted it all.
I wanted to be a
Mhm.
mermaid, but I'm petrified of the ocean, so it never really worked out for me.
That doesn't work.
No.
Actually, I got to be honest with you guys. I am a ninja. I'm an undercover ninja. So
Yeah.
You're not
Like
on
Beverly
Discover
Hills
anymore,
Ninja?
You just told
I,
us.
I told everybody that I'm a ninja. Oh, Beverly Hills
This
Ninja,
is-
the first ever episode that Gary and I were on for Movie Torture. Beverly Hills Ninja.
Mm.
I've never seen that either.
You're not
Never seen
missing
it.
much. You're not missing much. It's a terrible movie. Gary said never seen it. He was only episode.
Wait,
I didn't watch it.
Chris Farley in his last big movie. He had one more movie. We did both. Jacob, you did Farley's last movie with us, right? Almost
Did,
Heroes.
yes.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
a terrible movie. That was terrible. Gary, we only got half your face right now. What's going on, man?
Beverly Hills Ninja. I just looked it up.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. So yeah, MTD says Lloyd Bridges Sea Hunt. I remember him as the old man on Seinfeld. So that was a good thing. Remember that one if you like Seinfeld.
That I
Uh,
know.
Wait,
He was the guy that had the old son who was always like, "We gotta work out," and they're always working out. And
oh,
yeah, it's pretty funny.
okay.
But this movie had star power.
No,
It did.
It did.
Oh, like
It did.
stars and like they were stars.
They were
yeah.
stars. Yes.
People,
yeah, how
in
did
it,
they
yeah.
get that? How did they get Barry to do it?
Uh,
Because he was like already big, right? What was he big from?
was Ladybugs
He was in the
before
A-
this or after?
I don't know.
Ladybugs is really good with Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I need some ladybugs.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, it's same year, 1992. Same
So
year.
1992 was Jonathan Brandis' high water mark at the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the star of this movie. So, you know. Wait, he was in the Neverending Story too.
Yeah, he was in Never Ending Story too, guy.
Yeah.
And he was in a really good movie called Outside Providence. That was older, before he died. It was a Fairley Brothers movie.
He
or
was
one of
also
their-
in the original It.
Yes,
Yep.
he was. He was not Macaulay Culkin big, but he was pretty big. Most
No,
He was
people
big.
knew Brandis. He was on the cover of a lot of
recognized
magazines.
him when I was watching this. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the cover of a lot of magazines. I remember seeing him, and I was like, "Oh, there's Jonathan Brandis. That guy gets all the chicks."
Brad's jealous.
I'm so jealous of Brandis.
I
Big
got a
movies
never-ending
after he
story.
dies. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's weird is that he does have some credits in 2005, and that's weird to see, you know.
That he has
Because-
credits 2 years after he died.
Well, because they came out post-mortem.
Right.
Like he
Yeah.
filmed them obviously when he was alive, but it's just sad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like, releasing a podcast episode of a guest on Work Advice who died, but then we release it after they die. Ashley.
Why are you talking, Brett?
No, that would
Did
help
that
us.
happen?
No, but if we'd had that happen, we'd be like, oh, we got the last interview. That would be great. Last interview.
I'm just
You
looking
definitely
at
said
all
that
of the
like it
movies
happened.
he did when he was younger.
Their last interview, we bring a celebrity on, and their last interview, we have them talking about taking a dump, and then that's it. It plays.
That's all they're known for.
If I die, go ahead and release. Go ahead and release.
Like
We don't
a
want you to
dump.
die, MTD. I know.
He was on an episode of The Wonder Years with Winnie Cooper.
Oh, I love how
Wow.
Ashley's doing a deep dive into Brandis right now. Like, this is
I am. I had a crush on both Savage brothers growing up. I liked Fred Savage, but I was way more into Ben Savage from Boy Meets World, aka one of the best TV shows of all time.
yeah, but I think
Topanga.
I've heard that the Savage brothers are very big tool bags in Hollywood. Nobody likes them.
So I've heard that about Fred. Ben, I met once at a bar, and I took a picture with him, and then yeah, you know, he walked us to our car, me and my girlfriends, but we heard him say to a friend behind us, like, oh, these girls are DTF.
Oh,
And we weren't. We just wanted to get back to our car from the bar. But then he he just said goodnight and walked away. So he wasn't weird about it. But
MTV wants to
have
know: Did he
heard
buy you
rumors.
dinner?
I
Did
have
he buy you dinner?
No, I met him at a bar.
Uh,
But I
uh,
have heard rumors that that things are iffy.
Well, I read online recently that he doesn't speak to anybody on the cast.
I listened to that episode of Pod Meets World because
I actually listened to it too. I was like, I want to
because
hear.
of-
This.
Wait, what's her name? Maynard.
She's a,
What's
is
her
she a
name?
porn? Is she a porn star now?
Yeah, hardcore, not just hardcore. I actually looked it up because I was like, this can't be it's probably tasteful. I don't know what tasteful means anymore.
You
was-
watched it?
No, I saw photos.
Oh, yeah, I
Watched
don't
it.
get
Are
it.
you kidding?
It's like, MTV's like, we got a different kind of podcast now.
No, it was very. What's her
Okay,
name?
okay.
Maynard?
Before we bore these other three men on this, I do want to
Yeah,
say
porn is boring.
no. I'm talking about this. I feel like Jacob's main crush, Topanga,
Mm.
was acting like Regina George. Is it Regina George from Mean Girls in this episode? I don't think she was nice to her.
So I don't think she was acting like Regina George. I think she was incredibly versed. It's not versed, rehearsed. She knew exactly what she was going to say. She was very well prepared. I will go even further and say she might have memorized what she was going to say, but I don't think she was Regina George. I think she was rehearsed, and maybe what she said wasn't always kind. But I honestly disagree. I don't think that she was mean. I think maybe a little antagonistic given the circumstances, but
Yeah,
I don't think she was
Topanga can do no wrong.
No, she can't. Do you buy the fact that she was like, I was in your Facebook Messenger and I didn't see it, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
I honestly, I do kind of believe it. I do, because it's happened to me where someone has messaged me on Facebook and I see it 3 years later.
I mean, I sent you an
I don't
Instagram reel that you finally liked today.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't even watch it. I just liked it.
You didn't watch it?
Just
You
so
gotta
know,
watch
you know?
it. It's for you. Watch the
No, I'm
video.
gonna watch it. It was just
I've-
I think I was feeding the stray cats again. I don't know what I was
Brad
doing.
just got big timed.
But
Oh my gosh, I'm starting to worry she doesn't watch anything here.
no, I do. But I do kind of believe it What is she doing? What's happening?
Just folded laundry.
What is that?
Oh.
Ask me about my, what is it?
Explosive diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Yeah, ask me about. I'll talk to you about. I'll write a dissertation.
Just-
I can't read that one on you.
No, I do honestly. I think I will say this. What is her name? The one who played Rachel. I forget her name.
I don't know. I didn't watch the show.
But I do think that she wasn't as prepared, you know. But she seemed very angry, which, like, fine. She maybe had
Who? The porn star seemed angry?
Yes, she seemed very, very angry, and she kept saying how she felt like they were ganging up on her.
They were.
And but to a certain, it's their podcast, so you can say maybe they were ganging up on her, but it is 3 against 1. It's their podcast. If you're a guest on someone's podcast and there's 3 hosts and you're one person, then yeah, there might be some. I'm not saying it was all right, but I don't know. We definitely got an inside look as to what was going on behind the scenes of Boy Meets World.
And to wrap this up, we should talk about this on work advice, honestly. But I will say, to wrap this up, they keep alluding to how miserable she should be used to be. I can't even. Man, he really brings it sometimes. I'm telling you. I think he said you said it, Ashley.
I did?
Or maybe she said it. Oh, you said she said she was ganged up on. That's what you said. And you said, yeah, there's 3 against 1. I will say they kept alluding to how miserable the Girl Meets World set was. I want to know more about
that. I believe
why,
because it's a more modern set. I think I do. They were also adults, so they were privy to certain things. When they were kids on set, and even teenagers during the college years, they probably were in some ways shielded from the bad parts on set. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just defending the characters and the people that I've loved for so long. But and I'm not saying that that Rachel deserved all of that. Like, I'm not. I'm truly not. Like, I do think, like, at some point you have to take it down, especially when you're so, like, I truly think Topanga was really Danielle Fishel, right? She was really rehearsed. She knew exactly what she wanted to say.
She said it.
Right, but it seemed rehearsed. She was very, like, even-mannered, and that just seems it seems very much like I memorized this because I don't want to. I wrote it down. I memorized it. I don't want to forget. Which, okay, that's one way to do things. It's weird, but fine. It's her podcast. But I think Rachel came into it more like, oh, we're gonna hash this out. I'm angry, and clearly you don't like me. But there were some things that Topanga did do where she was like, oh, how does TMZ find you? They never find me. Like, that was a low blow.
Yeah.
That was a low blow. I didn't like that.
Let's continue this on org advice. But did we got any reviews for this movie?
I got a couple bad ones.
Okay.
Are there any good ones?
Oh, I have.
Oh, I'm sure there's tons. Bragg gets the good ones. So this one was from a Lauren. It says, do you like the Karate Kid, but wish it had more racism? Then check out Sidekicks.
Wish the Karate Kid had more racism.
That's really funny.
Then there's another one that says, very bad, ineffective, and surprisingly racist movie about kids and their action heroes. If anything, it probably works better as an unintentional look into the horrors of life-altering trauma responses.
Wow.
More like Sidescapes. Am I right?
Yeah, that was very intense.
So the DVD for this movie goes for $29.95 on Amazon right now.
Okay.
Been used 1,000 times.
And Kit Alexander wrote in November 16th, 2024. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I liked watching it when I first watched it. Now to have it on DVD is awesome. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Texas fan wrote, this movie was one of my favorites from 2020. and still is. Jonathan was the teenage heartthrob I looked up to in my teens. I found this movie to be so inspirational. I think that a lot of teenagers can identify with Jonathan's character, Barry Gabrewski, getting bullied, fantasize about their hero helping them destroy their tormentors. I highly recommend this movie.
I agree with that. I think a lot of people can probably relate to being bullied in
Yeah.
their teen years.
Yeah, but his was charming movie, lost in among the masses. That's what this guy says. So I don't know. He got a lot of good reviews. The fact that somebody reviewed this in November kills me. I don't understand why they do that. I don't understand it. It just blows my mind that people want to write a review about a stupid movie. But hey, Minnesota Gary, movie torture,
Yes.
movie gold.
Movie torture.
Whoa. What? Okay. Producer Gary, movie torture, movie gold.
Look, it's not gold. But again, I could have seen myself watching this as like a child. As an
You're
adult,
an
it's a
adult
little
now.
weird.
Answer as an
It
adult.
is. Okay, fine. Whatever. Yeah, it's not great.
Queen, movie torture, movie gold.
Movie torture.
I knew you were saying that.
It
Jacob,
was
movie torture, movie gold.
This was movie gold. It's hilarious.
Jacob and I always have opposites.
We
You
do,
do.
but it was hilarious.
We've never once agreed.
I loved it as a kid. It's just hilarious as an adult.
I'm gonna say it's movie gold, and somebody else. Who is Allah?
I have no idea.
Huh?
Anyway, I don't know. Allah said LOL. I don't know who that is, but hey, Allah. It's probably it's so sus. But I'm gonna say it's movie gold, and I don't dish out movie golds much. But MTD says you lost respect for me just now, Ashley.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
wasn't
It's
now.
it's got Chuck Norris in it, which I have a soft spot in my heart for Chuck Norris.
He's not real, Brad.
Yes,
But
he
he's
is.
in this movie. His brother directed it.
Wait, really?
Allah's really clapping now. I don't-
Allah's producer Gary.
Is that you, producer?
No,
Gary?
it's not.
Because
I
that's
don't know
the
where-
same thing
what do y'all-
that you wrote in the studio chat.
What are y'all seeing? I don't know what
Oh,
y'all seeing.
Gary's doing that? Oh, Gary.
I am not.
You're
I'm not.
trolling?
It's the same exact
No.
thing he wrote in the private chat.
What
Is
are
it
y'all reading? What are y'all reading?
Allah M? Who is Allah
I don't
M?
know. Where
She's
is
watching
that?
on YouTube, whoever Allah M is. Hello, Allah M, if you're real. We're glad
Hello.
you're watching. Minnesota Gary says hello. If that's producer Gary, hello, producer Gary.
How would it be me? I'm right here.
Wait, Allah M, tell us who you are if you are not producer Gary.
Real quick, while I'm waiting for that. Did you know that Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his meat?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
See, Allah M is not talking, so it had to be PG up there.
It's not me.
Well, she's not typing.
How would you think it? Why would you think it?
You
I have
can
no
wave your
idea
hand
how
up,
y'all
but she's
understand
not
that.
responding, so it's got to be you.
Why does it have to be me?
I don't know. It's somebody. It's Allah. I'm not. LOL. Who is it? Who is it? Is it Max?
No.
Could be.
Where are you?
It could be Minnesota Gary.
Minnesota Gary. I don't think it's Minnesota.
Is it
Gary.
Minnesota Gary?
Just a fan.
I'm new here.
We're glad you're a fan,
What?
Allah. We're glad you're a fan. But
Remember when Brad's son convinced us that?
oh my gosh, that's why I don't trust people on here because I think that they're just
No, we've had a riveting convo tonight. There's been a lot of people commenting.
we have had quite the comments for a show tonight. I will say that. I'm looking this up real quick while we're talking. I want to see. I'm gonna go look.
MTD says great show.
MTD,
MTD, can you hear me? Can you hear my mic? Because it's off to the side. And he always has trouble hearing me.
I can hear it. Oh,
Woo woo. Okay, movie torture. It's movie torture. It's not gold. It's
It is gold.
yeah. It's gold. This is a gold movie. in my mind.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so Allah, thank you for watching. If you're a fan, how did you find us, Allah? That's what I want to know. If you're real, how did you find us? That's the question.
We're all
If you're-
waiting. We're all watching the chat, waiting to see what she says.
If you're real, MTD is Allah real. That's the. What if it's
Chuck Norris.
MTD?
Producer
What if
Gary
MT
looks like he's typing.
I know.
I am not.
I think it's
Yeah,
Gary,
like-
man.
Like,
It's got to be Gary.
No, it's not.
Oh,
How can
Okay,
it be, how
Allah.
can it be me? I don't even know how you're seeing that. I'm not
follow
seeing
the
whatever y'all are
Hopecast
seeing.
Network, Allah, on YouTube, and it's a great question. What question did I ask?
how she found.
Yeah, how did you find us, Allah?
Can
As we
Olive
sit
be
here.
a boy's name? Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like Max is trolling us again. We're gonna fall for it's my wife. That's what it is. It's
What do
gotta
you
be
mean
my wife.
again? What do you mean
I love
again?
your wife.
He's done it again. She's done it again. Anyway,
All right.
for MTD, for Minnesota Gary, for producer Gary, for the queen of the Hopecast Network, Ashley. For Jacob, my name is Brad. We will see you next time on Movie Torture.
That was fun.
Do you think Allah was real?
Yes.
No.
How are y'all?